top wineries here in California, and every bottle that goes on sale when you're part of this club raises money for a different charity.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's a great idea. But right now it is time for despite no music playing, it is time for the Critics Corner and Dr. Bill Sysak. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Randall. How's it going?
Well, not bad. A note to self, do not go to a beer tasting the night before I have a radio show.
Yes, it takes many years of practice to achieve that, I'm sure.
Yes, it does. Now, Dr. Bill, you are with Stone Brewing down in Escondido, which has really grown to be one of California's largest breweries.
Yes, we're the largest Southern California brewery, craft brewery, and we're the 11th largest craft brewery in the United States currently.
11th largest in the United States. Wow. Well, you see it on draft everywhere here on the Central Coast, and it is delicious beer to be sure. Now, last night, we hung out for a bit there at the, I guess that was called like a special pairing, a tasting where they...
Yeah, the beer connoisseur dinner, I guess, where I basically paired all the craft beers that were... brought yesterday along with different foods and truffles and cigars.
Yes, and I noticed that the trend for special beers would be kind of translated to very strong.
Yes, a lot of times the brewers, they're so used to brewing everyday beers, IPAs, session ales, things like that, that you can pick up at your local market, a six-pack of them.
Right.
And so I think a lot of times what they think is, well, now I can do something special, so let's really ramp it up, and that usually equals higher alcohol.
Yeah, and darker, too. I noticed there were a lot of stouts there. Stouts, as Stone had, aged in bourbon barrels.
Yes, we had our 2008 Stone Imperial Russian Stout aged in bourbon barrels that we pulled out of archive, especially for the event.
And there were a couple of different breweries that had that same... Firestone had one, I believe.
Firestone had their Parabola, which is a fabulous imperial stout that they blend into their anniversary beer every year.
Delicious. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot now because I know you sample a lot of beers from all over the country.
Okay.
Give me one light, sort of refreshing summertime beer to drink, and then follow that up with one of your favorite, more richer, stout porters that's currently being brewed out there.
Okay. Well, there's so many great light beers when you think of it that are still craft worthy. Mm-hmm. You have Belgian Wits, for example, which are perfect for a wonderful summer day in the Central Coast. So one of the breweries I really enjoy is Avery out of Boulder, Colorado, and they do a beer called the White Rascal. That's a Belgian Wit, and it's about 5% alcohol, but it has coriander and orange peels added to it, so it's very refreshing. It's the perfect, whether you're sitting out on a patio, you can pair it with all kinds of food, from fresh fruits to an omelet in the morning if you're so induced into drinking a beer early on a weekend day. Or you can have it with great fish or seafood. So, I mean, it's a very versatile beer, and it's light and refreshing, and yet definitely has enough flavor to keep you coming back for more.
Coriander and orange peel, that's interesting. A lot of times beers, I think, as because of the hops that are used, have that citrusy sort of taste.
Sure. A lot of American hops definitely have floral or citrus notes, and so they correspond with that. But this beer style originated in Belgium, and the Belgians have been using adjuncts in their beers for a long time now. A lot of times adjunct sounds like a negative term. In the craft beer industry, we have a definition. Adjuncts mean improving something added to the regular beer recipe that improves the quality. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Improves the
I know that you have an iPhone now. I recognize that ring anywhere.
That improves the quality of the beer, whereas if it's a macro brewery, which I won't name, but if it was a brewery, sometimes they put adjuncts in to lessen the quality of the beer and make it less expensive. Mm-hmm. So the adjuncts got a bad names, but for craft beers, we use it all the time for positive purposes.
I love that.
As far as bigger beers, there's all kinds of bigger beers, of course, Belgian ales, stouts, and porters, barley wines. Since we're talking about stouts, though, let's talk about Firestone. And the Parabola we had yesterday. That is a fabulous beer. It's higher in alcohol, over 10%, but it's a great digestif after a dinner. Just like you would sit around with a brandy, you would sit around with a glass of this and a snifter. It has chocolate and coffee notes, so it also pairs perfectly with a great dessert, any type of chocolate or caramel. It also goes beautifully with great blue cheeses like a Stilton. It pairs, and it's a miraculous pairing. I do a event every year called Black and Blue, where I pair 7 stouts with 7 blue cheeses. Very intense, but very delicious.
Yeah. Oh, and that beer is delicious, and you can get it at their tasting room there in Paso Robles. You can also, I'm not sure if you can get it at the I almost said the Great American Beer Festival, the California Festival of Beers. Today, you'll be there. Dr. Bill, people can come up and say hi to you?
Oh, definitely. I'll even have a shirt on that says that, so they can feel free to come up. I love to talk about beer. I love to talk about everything, actually,
right.
But beer, cigars, food, so they can come up, and I'll be more than happy to talk to them and answer any of their questions.
Enjoy your time here on the Central Coast, and safe travels back to Escondido. Bill Sysak with Stone Brewing Company here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio this morning. Thank you, sir.
Cheers, Randall. Thank you.
All right, cheers to you, too. And it was great meeting him last night. Okay, coming up.